Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're back, man. Episode 217.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it.
Yep.
Recently, there's been a viral video of an MMA fighter. After he won his fight, he had a post-fight conversation, and he mentioned something about herpes randomly, and that's all people heard. So let me run that clip real quick. Oh, what the heck? Oh, there we go.
I was exhausted. I'm about to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. And I put in 30 all-nighters before that fight. I had herpes before that fight, 2 outbreaks in the span of a week. I'm here. I'm healthy. Let's go. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll fight.
All right. What you take away from that is he basically mentioned having herpes, how he had an all-nighter. He was basically giving an explanation for why he had lost his previous fight. And all everybody heard was herpes.
Yeah.
And it got viral. And basically they people accuse him of oversharing and all of these things. All right. Now in the grand scheme of it all, we just got an update on why he did what. He mentioned that he was a marketing genius and he knew that moment would go viral if he mentioned herpes. Technically he has herpes, but it's not genital. Mm-hmm. It's the mouth herpes. He has flare-ups, but I don't even think it's type 2.
I think herpes simplex one is the cold sores or the mouth.
Yeah, he said he got it from a wrestling mat.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he has flare-ups every, once or twice a year, but he had 2 within the last week prior to the fight. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this. I think that when we talk about something like herpes, right, people don't realize how close they are to getting it.
Yeah. Like
just the sexual habits of most people will put them at risk of getting something like that, for one. In addition to, it's not a death sentence, but it's some shit that your ass could never get rid of, though.
Yeah.
So you just gonna be walking around forever with. I don't even know what to make of herpes. I just know you get bumps on your dick. That's pretty much.
It's just ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine it's painful as well. Just having open blisters or. Blisters on your genitals.
Yeah.
That can't be comfortable.
Yeah. Let me backtrack a little bit because I don't want to go all over the place. But when he mentioned the NFT, the reason for going viral and mentioning the herpes was to bring attention to the overall conversation. But he has an NFT that he had been working on, and it's to give fighters the intellectual property to conversations like that and the rights to the fight. So he has a greater purpose behind what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So, give him credit for that. Which I think is pretty cool. But I was listening to Brilliant Idiots podcast last week, and Wax said, yo, man, his NFT going to have mad bumps on it, yo.
Yeah.
He going to have the first NFT with herpes bumps on it.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's crazy.
God damn.
That's a very, I like the idea of the NFT or the blockchain or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole marketing genius thing is it necessarily applies.
Give yourself too much credit.
I think he was just spitting. I think he was just, saying whatever, the first thing that came to his mind. But if he thought that far ahead and was like, yo, people going to take this herpes thing as something else, then I'll applaud him for that. But I don't know.
All attention isn't good. All publicity is all publicity is not good publicity.
Yeah.
So when you say, yo, I got herpes, but check this out. All they heard was the herpes, dog.
Yeah, all herplicity is not all herplicity.
Oh, that's the name of the podcast. Herplicity.
Herplicity, all right.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy, too, is somebody said, like, this guy's got herpes? Nobody's going to want to fight that guy now. What if he has a fucking flare-up? He said that they need to have a division for fighters that got herpes and make them fight. Bro, I was dying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know Charlemagne has been a big proponent of kind of like
destigmatizing, trying to destigmatize.
Herpes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I think that it's considered a skin disease. What is it? 1 out of every 6 people have herpes.
Yeah, that's a lot. And sometimes people get it and they don't 80% of flare-ups.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. So the thing about it too is the thing that's crazy about the whole herpes thing is people can get it, especially if you're very promiscuous. You're really raising your chances. So if you're trying to be a player out here and you got to put your dick in something different every week, you're gonna catch something, man.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Mm-hmm. It's a risk already every time you have sex with somebody. But
yes.
the best thing you can do for yourself is minimize the risk.
Yeah.
You know, and that's by knowing your partner at least.
Yeah.
Some sort of camaraderie with them.
Yeah, some rapport. There inherent risk with having sex at all, and I feel like women are more at risk when having sex than anyone. And I listen to Kevin Gates say this. I don't like to make it like I made the point, but Kevin Gates said that, you know, a woman is at risk because a woman's body is very gentle, believe it or not. Like he talked about, like, before he has sex with his girl, he makes sure his fingers and his hands are really clean when he's, using his fingers on his girl, or he makes sure his mouth and teeth and everything are brushed so he doesn't give her any like bacterial infections or anything of that nature. And that's important. So I think that we live in a time now where they're trying to normalize everything and they got these slut walks and all of this, but promiscuity for women is dangerous. Women are at risk because if a dude, if all these dudes is shoving dirty penises in you, you could get all kind of shit. You could get herpes. You could get HIV. You could get all kind of stuff. You know, and this is not to like shame women at all or tell them what they should or should not be doing, but women have a greater risk, not only STDs, but also pregnancy.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You know, I feel like we all can have safe sex. Just build some rapport with the people that you fucking.
Yeah, for sure. And communicate. Obviously, like, people, if you're not living with the person or you don't have their whereabouts 24/7, somebody could just lie. But you just want to build some open line of communication. Just say, like, hey, if we gonna do this, it's gonna be exclusive to what we got on. I don't want you out here running around on both ends. Whether it's I can't even say guy or girl because it's a different dynamics out here. But just on both ends of the communication, you just want both people to know, like, hey, if we're gonna do this, it's gonna be exclusive, and I'm a give you enough to where you should be good, and you're not gonna have to go out and get no extra. Inspect
people too. Shit, you better, women, you need to look at the dick and balls, make sure they're not infected. Fellas, you need to look at that wop, make sure it's not make sure that's just only juice coming out and not like virus and shit coming out of there.
Yeah, some yeast.
Yeah, that ain't a yeast infection. That's a beast infection. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'll be investigating.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, I'll be like,
see, is this an ingrown hair?
What's that bump right there?
Yeah,
like, I was shaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That was funny.
Yeah, sometimes. So you got to investigate, man. Yo, this is off the record. Sometimes girls don't be shaving too good, and they be having stubble.
You don't mess with the stubble.
You put your face down there and cut your whole face off.
Oh, that's facts. Yeah, I'm grown though. I don't. I think when I was young, I was like, it got to be bald, it got to be that. But as long as I'm not cutting my tongue up too bad, then I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Oh man, some dudes low key. You know what's funny though? Is actually it's normal for women to have hair down there. The only because I did some research on this, it's normal for women to have hair, but porn has ruined our perception of regular sex.
Yeah,
like men and women really ain't supposed to be shaved down there.
Yeah, they doing that. There's an upkeep to it.
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, and a lot of women be like uncomfortable with shaving themselves bald sometimes, or like just like with the hair growing back, or especially different different textures.
True, but it looks better. So keep on shaving. Shave all 2022.
That's that Brazilian wax going.
Oh man, that Brazilian is something else.
Yeah,
I heard that shit'll rip off all your sins.
Rip your sins away.
Some girl the other day. I'm not gonna say who, but she got a wax, and she's like, I got a new wax. I got a new pussy, y'all.
Dang.
Like, nah, that's the same old
not
pussy.
Really how it works.
Yeah, it's got the same miles on it.
Yeah. Still got the chlamydia in there.
Oh man, it'd be fucked up. What if a dude got a Brazilian wax and got all this stuff cut off and his nuts hairs and everything cut off, and then like he walk in the room and they be like, oh, still got a little dick.
Dang. That's supposed to make it look a little bigger.
Damn. If you completely shave and it's still little,
you better start eating pussy.
Yeah.
You got tongue action, got to be crazy.
Man, you don't even expect for herpes. Just get down there.
Yeah, that's facts. That's crazy.
Oh. What's that bump right there? It don't matter. You didn't get dick little. All right. Switching gears. Kendrick Lamar's album.
Yeah, man.
Just came out. What's it called? Morale and the Big Step.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Highly
anticipated album.
Highly anticipated album. This is his last album came, was it 5 years ago?
I think it was 4 years ago.
4 years ago? Was it 18, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it might have been right in there. I'll say this. I feel like there's two extremes that are going out. There are people who have listened to Kendrick Lamar's album and they're like, oh, this is mid. So like less than 24 hours of the album coming out, they was like, oh man, this is weak. This is this is that. Like the fact that you come to a determination of a whole like piece of art that took 4 or almost 5 years, it's kind of irresponsible. It's very short-sighted and irresponsible to do that. And I think it's also irresponsible to listen to something for less than 24 hours and say it's the best album of all time. I think that's also irresponsible.
Yeah, for sure.
You just have a bias and you love Kendrick Lamar and you're going to say that regardless, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that if you're a person who appreciates the arts, I think that any major album, whether it's from Michael Jackson or whoever the fuck is out there that's created these art pieces that have stood the test of time, whether it's Michael Jackson or Michael Bublé or whoever, right? It took years for people to determine that this is the best album that I've heard, or this is one of the best albums ever made. Mm-hmm. Like no one listened to Michael Jackson's album and said, "Oh, this is the best album ever." 24 hours after it came out.
Yeah.
I think that what's that people don't let music marinate anymore. It's just this instant gratification that people are looking for. They just need to be instantly stimulated.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is back in the day, there was a process that led up to us getting the music. Mm-hmm. We had to go to Sam Goody or what's it called, that store? FRE or Fry?
FYE.
Huh?
Is it FYE?
I think it's FYE. Mm-hmm. Like we had to go to Sam Goody or all these places or even Walmart back in the day to go out and physically get a hard copy of the album, whether it was through cassette or through CD. So we had the experience of waiting in line or going to purchase it and then putting it in our car for the first time by ourselves and coming to a determination of how much we loved this album or how much we didn't really like it, but we allowed ourselves to feel it.
Yeah.
But now with the internet connecting us way too much, like we have too much access to each other's lives. And we also get things so instantaneously. It's just ridiculous. Like when the music drops, everyone's hearing it at the same time and everybody's tweeting about it. Everyone's on the internet about it. And it's so annoying that we take art and like the way we view it. We view art like fast food. Mm-hmm. And that's counterproductive to me. I don't like that.
Yeah. Xavier TV had a skit about Kendrick's album where he was like, yo, this is going to be a class. I forgot how it went, but I think he was like, yo, this is going to be a class. This is going to be fired. And he played like maybe 3 seconds of it. He was like, hoo, 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 hoo. Like, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it goes nowadays. It's either like that reaction or it's the opposite. It was interesting for me because I didn't get to see the reactions because I'm just not on social media like that these days. But I guess for me, as far as my take on the album,
right.
You never really know what to expect from Kendrick Lamar. Especially now where like the way he did it. Normally when the album comes out, you'll have a couple singles out, couple of music videos, and then the album comes out. But this time he dropped the whole project by itself. And the first thing that I realized is like just a level of growth and maturity. I think, To Pimp a Butterfly was a lot about the Black experience. I think Dan was probably more so about like personal relationships, but this one is like over the past 4 years, it seems like Kendrick has been studying, reading, maybe watching documentaries, maybe talking to some mentors here and there. Definitely he mentioned therapy. And it's just like all these things that we are unpacking in therapy, whether it's like hypermasculinity or this, toxic relationships or homophobia and all these different things. And he's hitting on all these different things also while rapping, you know what I mean? Which is like a lot of that subject matter is very taboo. talking about transgender people in a rap song. It's like, that's not to be like disrespectful, but that's kind of like subject matters that's reserved to a guy like Logic.
Yeah.
But Logic may do it in like a poppy way that people may not necessarily resonate with people. But Kendrick Lamar is speaking on it from like a real...
That's not true, because Logic has had some really like deep records, like the 1-800 number.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it won't resonate with people. I'm saying like just culturally, a lot of black people don't necessarily like go to
they're not Logic
songs.
Definitely not,
especially not that song. But yeah, like Kendrick, he was able to speak these messages in like in a one, like a realistic way, and two, in a very artistic way where it was palatable. He has a whole song where he's arguing with his girlfriend and they're rapping on beat, which is like, that's like next level type stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's my take.
What I'll say is this, in regards to it too, is not only there's so many elements to what has went on in the last like 2 days since the album came out. The album came out, was it Friday morning or something like that?
For us on the West Coast, it's 9 p.m. on Thursday.
Thursday, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when it came out, I probably maybe like an hour and a half later, I was listening to it. Mm-hmm. And from that moment, I was like, you know what? This is going to take me a while to, to come to the determination. Because like Roddy Ricch's last album, like the one before this last one, his last album, it was a good project, but because it wasn't the project before, he got a lot of shit.
Yeah, you talking about Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial?
Yes, that's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic album.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking good album.
Yeah.
And it's hard to recreate things like that. But here's the problem with people. People don't respect art because an artist is not trying to recreate something that he's already made. Mm-hmm. Like, the reason why you like him as an artist is because he makes the music that he wants to make. Mm-hmm. And that's what you love about him. But people say things like, oh, I was expecting to Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick. It's like, bro, stop that. Mm-hmm. That, like, stop. Like, that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. If an artist did everything you wanted him to do, he would not be successful.
Yeah.
He was able to, he was the one that took that leap of faith to do what he wanted to do. Like Childish Gambino was the ultimate example of that, where he went from rapping and he stopped and he just went to basically just harmonizing everything, and he's still really dope.
Like real singing.
Yeah. And he took that leap of faith, which it takes a lot of bravery, and he's still very, very, very dope artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not only that, let's talk about what Kendrick was talking about a lot of these songs. I should have wrote the
titles of them.
Yeah, I got it all over here. Mm-hmm. I don't want to play it, but let me see here. Let's go to right here. You got and what's weird too is what I've noticed is he got Kodak Black on here. Kodak Black
kind of like narrating.
Yeah.
Or like narrating and kind of doing poetry in between the album.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I've noticed is there's certain artists that have kind of like destroyed these ideas. Like, you would notice that people who love like J. Cole might not be the biggest fans of 21 Savage. Mm-hmm. But but they came together, and like any project they've made has been dope. Mm-hmm. And now you got Kendrick and Kodak Black.
Yeah. And
it's dope. And like, to me, my favorite song is with them two. It's called Silent Hill.
Yeah. On J. Cole's I think on Middle Child, he's like, just left the lab with that young nigga Kodak, reminded me of young niggas from the Ville. And you realize like we kind of grow up a little bit differently, but honestly we grow up in the same type of situations.
Right.
It's just a matter of, I probably went home before the lights went on, and then you might have stayed out a little bit later or something like that. So you realize like we all have, similar experiences, and Kodak being from Florida and Kendrick being from Compton, obviously, they probably got along really well. Like, hey, my mama used to do this back in the day. Man, that's crazy. My mom used to do this. And, they just kind of like built a bond like that. So
yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's a really dope album.
What I seen too, sorry to cut you off, but I seen that somebody had released like some reference tracks from Kendrick Lamar. So I don't know how the collaboration went with them too, as far as like the poems and stuff go. But I do know that Kendrick is like, he kind of orchestrates a lot of stuff. So, he might be like, he probably had it in his mind exactly what he needed Kodak to do. And how many bars here and what type of story he wanted him to tell. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, we'll talk about what sticks out. What really stuck out to me, a song on there it's called Father Time. Mm-hmm. And in Father Time, he speaks about daddy issues, and I think we've made daddy issues, or the conversation of daddy issues have been synonymous with like women. Mm-hmm. But he talked about men having daddy issues, and he basically made the comparison: if you've grown up with a father or without a father, you still had daddy issues because of the lack of self-expression or the lack of emotions were passed down from your father to you. And there's a lot of times in which you have these behaviors that are counterproductive to relationships.
Yeah.
And when women come into our lives and how they have to take on sometimes the lack of emotion or the lack of emotional intelligence in certain situations. He also spoke about how the pros and cons of daddy issues, where having daddy issues really complemented his competitive edge, right? So I thought it was a really dope conversation. Me and Keith had this conversation on the podcast a long time ago about men with daddy issues, or men who lash out and punch holes in walls and shit. Like that's a daddy issue. He also spoke about how men who didn't have a father in the house who also had daddy issues, and how they went to the street and masked and basically became like gang members in the name of like this false masculinity, and masked it as being gangster, but it's not really being gangster. You just have daddy issues.
Yeah, for sure.
And he also go ahead.
Along with that line about competitiveness, he was talking about Kanye West and Drake making up.
Yeah,
How he didn't necessarily like that, and he basically said, like, I'm still working on myself. Kind of
thing. How he didn't like that, and he said basically, I'm not as mature as I thought. And I thought that was pretty powerful. There's just a lot of moments of vulnerability in this album.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, and there's a lot of messages. Even the songs that was a bop, and you was like bobbing your head to it, it was a message in it.
Yeah,
it was this is just fucking loaded with messages.
That's
loaded.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he also mentioned on that song. It's time we give the women a break. We got daddy issues.
Yeah, it's tough because it's you can have daddy issues without even knowing you got daddy issues.
Facts.
Right? Like I called my dad the other day, and I was crying. And we don't have the best relationship, and I just was basically telling him like, thank you for coming to my games when I was a kid and stuff like that. But a lot of times we hold on to these emotions, right? Like, because he may have gone away or whatever the case may be, we just be holding on to stuff, and we're taking it into every other relationship, right? So if you don't get right with those type of situations, then you're still holding on to it. So in the back of your mind, you're reacting to situations based off of that dramatic relationship. So I think that these type of conversations are important because, it may lead somebody to look into their own personal life. Like, dang, man, when I was a kid, my dad told me not to come in the house until if I lost a fight too, and I was just sitting outside, or they pulling me out of the house to go fight somebody that did something. So
you fall down and fuck your knee up. You better not fucking cry. You better not cry. Get up. Get up now. You better not cry.
Yeah.
And it's like the suppression of emotion.
And you just hold on to that.
You're holding on to this shit.
Yeah.
And then and daddy issues can also come from, certain things that you can have daddy issues from your father not having a father.
Yeah.
So you may have a father present, but due to his issues and his father being absent, it affected how he fathered you. So he, as you get older, you can see what he was compensating for or what he didn't have.
Yeah. And
it's crazy. A lot of parenting from fathers is affected by them not having a proper role model.
Yeah.
So, I had my father, but there was things that he was still, a lot of times when I was a kid, he was still learning how to be a father himself and to be a man. Because coming from the background that he came from, he didn't have a father there teaching him everything every step of the way. He had to learn a lot of this shit on his own. And growing up, that's not always the best thing. I've learned some great things from my father, but there are things that you have to unlearn from your parents.
Yeah.
When your parents don't have the best representation, even if they had a father. See, here's another one. Here's another form of daddy issues that will affect a woman. when a woman has a father present, he could be the best father ever, right? Great dad, everything. But if he couldn't keep his dick in his pants, your daughter may not believe in men because her own father couldn't keep his dick in his pants.
Yeah.
So she's going out into the world thinking that all men are no good because she had poor representation in the home, right? So believe it or not, too, you also learn how important fathers are. This is not to downplay women, but they did a statistic on inmates in prison and how many of them did not have fathers in the home. And it is a crazy, I think it's like, was it like almost 80%?
That's wild.
Did not have a father figure in the home. So the daddy issues run very deep.
Yeah.
And we have to stop applying this idea or narrative to women. Oh, she got daddy issues. She got her ass out on the internet. She got daddy issues. Now, some of this shit is true. A woman that's out in the world that is absolutely begging and crying for attention, it may come from not having, not getting
attention from a dad.
Not just from a dad. That mainly the dad and the mother or just both parents as a collaborative. But I think if a strong male figure is in the home and he basically feeds his daughter how important she is to the world, and all of the things he points out to her has nothing to do with her looks, then she will go out into the world, even though she's a beautiful woman. She don't have to portray these over-the-top sexual expressions and looking for attention from men because she doesn't have to do that. She owns a business.
Yeah.
She has this, she has that. She basically has crafted a world that is based off of things outside of her looking for attention. So when some women they'll get mad like it ain't nothing wrong with getting attention, this and that, but like, baby, you 37, you 38 years old. You know what are you doing?
Yeah. I think just overall, this is like a very important, very timely album.
Yeah.
Like it kind of reminds me of the conversation surrounding Get Out, or the conversation surrounding Black Panther, where people are listening to it and consuming it on an entertainment level, but then also people are doing real research papers and breaking down, lyrics and bars, and a lot of it. Some of it is very dense, but then some of it is like so simple that it's just like it just hit the nail on the head a lot of times. And that's all throughout the album. This
conversation runs thick, but there's another song called "Mother I Sober," and it's basically one of the things talked about in the song was the trauma that his mother went through, trauma that affected how she parented. She kept asking him, "Hey, is your cousin touching you? Did your cousin touching you?" And he kept telling his mom, no. But the reason why she did that is because he found out later that his mom had been sexually assaulted, and her trauma affected how she parented her children. She wanted to protect them. And
that's a huge fear a lot of parents have.
It's a huge fear. And the thing about it, this is why I get really pissed off when people listen to an album for 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, this is mid." Like all these gems, all these messages. No one wants to listen to a message anymore. They just want to listen to mindless content. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there was so much in here. I think it's so disrespectful to someone's craft to say it's mid or it's trash when they've embedded so much gems in the music. I just think you have to be literally, I feel like you have to have a comparable thought process or energy about you to appreciate art like this.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you before. I was like, man, you have to be like working on yourself.
Right.
And then when you hear this, you're like, oh, okay, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like at this moment in my life, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I may not be where I want to be, but 100%. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I think that's kind of like the confirmation we got from hearing that album.
Yes. Yeah. And I genuinely appreciate it. And there's other messages too. The video, N95, it came out, like 2 days ago, a day or two ago. And N95, you would have to watch the video, but I watched it, and then I watched a dude breaking down the meaning of it. He did an amazing fucking job too. But basically, the video starts with Kendrick in like an all white suit with his shoes off, floating over the water, which is more like a a Jesus-like thing, and some people got pissed off about that or had their, but the problem is people need to stop dismissing the art and using their feelings. Like, stop using your feelings about whatever religion or whatever, and look at the art and try to make sense of the art. That's the problem I have with some people. But anyways, the point of him even having the crown of thorns on his head on the album cover and him having that floating above water thing was to flip the mirror on you and how you perceive him. He said on the album, you know, Kendrick made you feel like this, but he is not your savior. J. Cole made you feel inspired, but he is not your savior. LeBron made you give him flowers, but he is not your savior. Basically saying you are looking at us as these almost like prophets, but I'm a regular man. I have issues with infidelity. I have issues with this. I have issues with, I have daddy issues, masculinity issues. He basically was telling everyone, I'm a human. So before you look at me through this lens, I am a man first, you know? And he even said in the album, you can't please everybody. Like he knew he couldn't please everybody, even with this album or this body of work or just in life in general. But and I mentioned to you before the podcast, it was almost like the way he displays the art, he took a lot of time. It was like almost like Andy Warhol, like the weird, like tomato soup, upside down letters, squiggly lines. But this art will make sense to someone who tries to make sense of it, or who can decode the messaging behind the album rather than just trying to simplify it and dumb it down. Like that's, yeah.
I think another what song is that?
Oh, I got the list here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
You've got
We Cry Together. That's the one that that's the one with the argument, right? Yeah. I think that song is like pretty genius. Like it's almost like a screenplay in a sense, where it's like the typical toxic argument, right? It starts out with them yelling at each other over whatever the case may be, some infidelity, whatever, and it kind of just it goes up and up from there until people start disrespecting each other and
saying
cussing
he had a little
each other
dick
out.
and shit.
Yeah, all the worst things you could say to somebody, and he's doing it so cleverly. And the girl Taylor Page, that's the feature on the song. She's actually an actor. She's not even a rapper. So I thought that was dope. And then and then the way it ends, it's just like then they just about to start having sex.
Yeah.
Just kind of that toxic cycle that a lot of us are in, and it's just unfortunate.
There are some women so toxic that they'll be like, you know what? Like if I'm pissed off, I just need you to fuck the anger out of me. You'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
We can't have peaceful sex?
Yeah, that's scary, bro.
Is that why women like getting choked so much?
Who knows?
They be trying to die.
People have their fetishes.
You don't want me choking you. You won't wake up. That nigga almost killed me. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of girls do like at least a hand around their neck.
Bro, this girl literally like forced me to choke her before. I swear to God. And I was kind of like uncomfortable.
To where she couldn't breathe, or to where it was just like around.
I just put my hand there and she was like, no, like grab
really
it.
do. Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
wild.
my God.
Yeah. Women be into different stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, you just gonna force me to choke you out? And then she made me mad, so I kind of gripped it a little.
Crazy. But yeah, that song is pretty powerful. I think I took a screenshot of another song I liked.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It's a lot to wrap your mind around because the album just came out. It's only Sunday. United and Grieve, no. Rich Spirit.
Yeah, no, I think I forget the name of the one song, but there's a song in there where he's talking about his cousin being transgender.
Oh yeah,
and he's telling this whole story about how he kind of always knew that she was a little bit different, but he just loved. I think it's a he. Kendrick Lamar loved his cousin for who he was, no matter what the circumstance, even if like, you know, people thought it was kind of weird or whatever, but you just, like I said before, you don't hear these type of conversations in this level of hip hop. So, yeah, and I'd be interested to see what is the aftermath of these conversations, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the people that was very early on this conversations about therapy and masculinity and stuff like that was Jay-Z with 444. Just talking about his infidelity and talking about how he's losing his family and his issues with his
When
dad.
they come out
and
in
his mom.
17?
Maybe earlier than that. I'm not sure though. But yeah. So and then I'm sure Kendrick Lamar might have been inspired by those conversations and just the whole conversations around mental health.
Yeah.
And how that is just influencing the music nowadays. Like J. Cole talking about meditating instead of using drugs, and obviously Kendrick Lamar talking about his experiences and letting them all out. And a lot of like I said before, a lot of times like before you actually do some sort of therapy or not necessarily therapy, but just learning about yourself, you're not even aware of these behaviors. So it took Kendrick Lamar up until this point in his life to actually make this album. And that's the beautiful thing about music like this is like you got to live life first and then you can give the world this type of art.
Yeah. Kendrick is a guy. Kendrick is just a regular dude. He popped up at the Dodger game and everybody was tripping out. He's like, oh my God. And the stupid ass cameraman was like, oh, looks like that's Kendrick Lamar over there. It's like, man. But he wasn't even, people was coming up taking pictures. He was just being cool.
Yeah.
Just
trying to be regular.
He was outside with it. You know what I think though? Be honest. I think I don't know if he said it or somebody else. They said, yeah, man, I've been outside. Just wear a mask. So a lot of people, like a lot of actors and people like that, like this gave them the ability to just float around without security and shit.
I will say though, for me, I could tell. Like I've seen, especially during the pandemic, I was moving around a little bit doing different interviews and music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I could tell like a certain celebrity. If you're really familiar with him, you could tell through the mask.
Yeah, you know who Leonardo DiCaprio is.
Yeah, and even on a local level, like say, in the gym in Planet Fitness.
Oh yeah.
Like in me, I'm nearsighted, so I don't really be knowing exactly who's who, but I could tell a silhouette.
I knew this girl. I knew who she was by her booty. I was like, oh, I know that booty.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know that booty from anywhere.
No, but I was in the gym and I seen this chick and I knew exactly who she was, and I didn't have my mask on. And she seen me. She didn't say shit. I was like, oh, okay. But hey, look, like I don't feel entitled to talking to someone every time, But I think it just some people are kind of, I don't know. Some people are kind of faking that way.
Yeah.
Where they're like, they think that mask is hiding their whole identity.
Yeah, man. For me, I just like to be regular. Like I don't like to be no weird energy. So if I see you, I just say hi.
Yeah, I stopped wearing my mask quite a while before they told the people that they didn't need to wear them because I normalized life again. Like I'm not gonna keep having a mask on. Like I'm just not. Like if I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna get sick, and then just whatever.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we're not even talking about COVID no more.
Yeah.
COVID is a dead topic. It's some video that I've been seeing that's been popping up on my algorithm, I guess, on Facebook. It's this black dude, and he got like a Jerry curl. He looked like Rick James. He says, I've been in so and so for this many years, and I'm telling you, the COVID vaccine is very safe. Such and such. I'm like, I'm not listening to Rick James.
They still selling that? That's wild.
Nobody trying to do that.
That's hilarious.
You know what? Hey, if anybody gets a chance, how many of you guys made it through the pandemic without getting a vaccination? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I still don't think I ever got COVID, which is crazy.
I think you did. You think you were asymptomatic probably, though.
No, I mean, I've taken tests. So, I mean, obviously I don't know if the tests don't tell you if you had it before, but yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I had it straight up. I tested for the shit. But I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. And I didn't have to take. And the funny thing is those vaccination cards and all of that, I don't think it's the statute of limitations. I don't think we could mention
Yeah,
that.
you might want to just skate over that topic.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, man, overall, so far, great album. My two favorite songs right now are Die Hard with Blast and Silent Hill with Kodak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the song with Blast.
That
it's
Blast.
Kind of like,
I hope it's not too late.
Yeah, I was just
straight.
I was just thinking about that, and that part of my journey now is like I've been like speaking to a lot of people, and just been in communication with a lot of people, like my mom and like I was saying before, like my dad, and that really resonated with me, especially like over the past few days. You know, you just think about like how short life is and how important it is to kind of, you know, get in communication with people and resolve issues in a timely manner, because you just never know, man. Like life is so. I was like, I went to my younger cousin's birthday party Saturday, and my cousin is the birthday party looked so different last year. Like, it was a different house, a different place. The parents of my younger cousin, or he's like my second cousin, were in a completely different relationship. Now they got separate boyfriend and girlfriends, and it's just so crazy how a year changes everything. So, you know, when I hear that Blast message in that, and then I also hear that on Blast's own album, I'm like, dang, that's like when it's something wrong, make sure y'all get in communication with whoever you got to, because you just never know what life could look like in a matter of a year.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah. The vibe I get from this album overall is I'm going to be listening to it for a while and just finding new ways to appreciate it. You know, there's certain albums that stick out to me over the years that I just appreciated over time. Yeah. And it's just how I felt. I feel like thinking of it, okay, where's a couple? I don't want to name like the classic albums. I just want to name albums that kind of stuck out. But I'm just going to jumble them up, mix them up. Get Rich or Die Trying, definitely one of them. That's a classic album. Astro World, for sure. Roddy Ricch's Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, for sure. Jeez. Oh, Damn. Kendrick's Damn album.
Victory Lap.
Loved it. Oh, Victory Lap. Jesus, yes. That one's definitely... Victory Lap is one of the best hip hop albums of all time. That's just how I feel. You know, especially it being Nipsey's last album. That shit, man. I purposely don't listen to that album for like 7 or 8 months on purpose.
Yeah.
And I turn it on, and that motherfucker still goes in.
I find it hard to listen to Nipsey Hussle.
Oh no!
Right after he passed, I was listening to him a lot, but now I find it hard to cut it on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Nipsey. Yeah, but there's quite a few. You know, I definitely, I don't want to say, oh, this is a classic. I don't want to say that.
You gotta give it some time, man.
Yeah, and I don't want to say, you could appreciate an album without it being a classic. By the way, it doesn't have to be a classic. To me, I felt Damn was a classic. Other people was like, hell no, Pimp a Butterfly was better. Like, that's fine, but like, you can't make me feel the way you feel, sir.
Yes, it's facts.
Yeah, you can't.
It's just your opinion.
It's just your opinion, you know. But I'm just really annoyed at these people handing out their opinions about or doing a whole album review less than 24 hours. Like these YouTubers.
I've seen so many people when it dropped. It was people have videos already going up. I was like, dang, that's crazy. It's kind of like, I get it. You know, you got to get your money, get your increments, but it's like, you know, kind of judging it in that way. It's kind of weird. Like,
I think if
there's a guy, his name is Big Quentin or something like that. He does album reviews, but he does them kind of in a dope way. Like he makes you, well, one, he's like super entertaining, so he's up dancing and stuff like that. But also, like he lets you know that this is the first listen. He also lets you know, like, sometimes he'll jump back 2 weeks later, like, hey, you know, it'll cut to a completely different, you know, outfit and stuff, and he'd be like, hey, I sat on this album for about 2 weeks now. The songs didn't, I'm not talking about Kendrick's album.
Yeah, just in general.
He'd be like, the songs didn't really hit like they did originally. But the album was decent. It's a cool album. I'll go back to it and still give it a listen, but it's not as good as I thought, or you know, vice versa. So I think that's the best way to do it. You gotta let music really breathe. Yeah, this content or art in general, like, for example, this is episode 217 for me and Keith, right? If you listen to one episode of this podcast and you say, oh, that shit trash, that shit garbage,
all they talk about is this or that, you would look like a fool because there are 216 other episodes that you know nothing about. So you've determined that you don't like this thing or whatever based on one episode or for X amount of minutes that you've listened. And it's like, dog, that's not how art works. That's not how content works.
Yeah.
You know how many episodes of Joe Rogan I love and don't like at all?
I mean, you got so many.
He got so many. Joe Rogan's got so many. But imagine if you said Joe Rogan's trash, all of his episodes are trash, and it's like, dog, that's you have a bias that's not allowing you to even be real with anything. So, yeah, man, I think that over time more people will appreciate this album. People who are on that same wavelength, I guess you could say. But the ones that like to listen to mindless music without, that talk about drugs and promethazine and guns and gang shit. This conversation ain't for you.
Yeah.
This is for people who are into higher thinking. I actually care about people and life and my growth as a man. So if you don't have that interest, then I don't think this conversation includes you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, switching gears. Young Thug. Recently, Young Thug was arrested along with multiple people within YSL on a Rico charge. And a Rico charge is basically, I don't have it verbatim. But yeah, a Rico charge is, I can't believe I didn't get this article. Okay. Here's what a Rico charge is. A Rico charge is a violation of Rico occurs when a person in connection with an enterprise engages in a pattern of racketeering activity. Racketeering includes arson, bribery, counterfeiting. And Rico means racketeer, influence, and corrupt. Yeah, corrupt. Oh, and corrupt organization. Okay. So Young Thug had been getting trailed by the feds since 2012. That's as far back as they go. And they were building a case. And when the feds come pick somebody up, they don't pick them up they pick them up with years and years and years of information. And usually there's probably somebody within that enterprise that has, the feds have gotten to him, maybe threatened him with 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
He said, you're going to communicate or we're going to lock you up. And they've probably been using that guy as an informant. Usually anybody within a Rico, like in a Rico case, there's an informant that's giving them substantial information, enough where they could come pick up the leader of that enterprise, which is Young Thug. Yeah, they found that Young Thug was sending text messages. He was also implicating himself in the fucking music.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't pull the trigger, but I definitely got something to do with that body. Right? Fucking moron.
Sad, bro.
Moron.
Yeah.
It's ignorant as fuck and it's dumb. Yeah. You snitching on yourself. And not to mention, Young Thug had a car rented in his name and somebody from YSL did a drive-by in that car. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
You hear that shit?
So 12 years later.
He said, root beer. I like drinking root beer. All right. Okay, root beer. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, but yeah, I think it's downright stupid that Young Thug and everybody in YSL, or what's it called? Was it Young Slime Life? They literally were committing crimes this whole time, and now they're about
operating like a gang. So
operating like a gang.
Label.
Yeah. And you gave up a career with tens of millions of dollars. Like, dog, he's not getting anything less than 5 years. A RICO charge could get you up to 60.
Yeah, that DA was very clear too.
Yeah.
She said, I want to get all these, she said, the crime has been going up and I want to get all these criminal organizations off the streets.
And the dumb thing about it is you rapping. Like you literally, you have accomplished something that most Americans, you are a part of the 1%, not only money wise, but a part of the percentage of people who make it as big as you did in hip hop. And you fucking throw it down the toilet to be a part of some street thug organization. How fucking dumb can you be? And I've been hearing people saying things like, I'm sending Young Thug healing energy. I'm praying for that brother. Man, fuck him.
You can send him healing.
Fuck him. If he is guilty, no.
Yeah.
If Young Thug is guilty of anything in that Rico charge, fuck him. And everybody in YSL, they all need to go to prison. Look, I have no prayers. I have no goodwill towards a criminal who is hurting innocent people. If your ass is guilty of that shit in the Rico charge, fuck you. You've normalized trauma, put it in the music, and you going exactly where you should be going. Prison. That's dumb.
Yeah. I think you could do both, though. I just think the only reason I would say, and I don't know, for me, it's like I know that he's operating in a way that he just knows how to. So, I think that it's a hurt person in there somewhere, whether it's, we talked about, it's just based off of Kendrick Lamar's album. Like
right.
that same type of person is in there. And I think they do need some sort of rehabilitation or therapy or assistance. Man. Not to absolve him for his crimes. No. He should go to prison. But I'm saying at the same time, it's an individual in there that needs some real help, and hopefully he can seek that somewhere.
Yeah, but it's hard to get help when you're worth millions of dollars and you don't see a problem with anything that you're doing. You're so set in your ways, you need to just go to jail now. There's no rehabilitation for a person that's worth tens of millions of dollars who is hell-bent on still being in the fucking streets. That's dumb. Yeah. That's some goofy shit. Like you literally are squandering away an opportunity that people pray for. There are people more talented than Young Thug or other artists, and they have been fighting for their careers and not making it while you just fucking blow it.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. And the thing about it too is you said basically he's just doing what he knows. I get it. Yeah, okay. But you're also destroying the lives of the people listening to the music because you so effortlessly talk about guns and crime, and it's people really dying over the shit that you rap about in the streets. Mm-hmm. You know, there more motherfuckers died of fentanyl than COVID. Mm-hmm. More people literally died of the shit that you rap about. And these rappers act like they don't have no influence. Oh man, it ain't my fault. Motherfucker, you are literally glorifying fuck shit, and we've normalized this as culture. What did Charlamagne say? Stop dick riding dysfunction. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. I felt like that is this issue. Like, stop dick riding dysfunction. As we can see, artists such as J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Chance the Rapper. Kendrick Lamar is basically promoting like a healthy relationship. He got his lady and his kids on the cover. Mm-hmm. Chance the Rapper talk about his wife and talking about how people in the industry don't talk about marriage and happy marriages. No one's promoting anything positive. It's only a handful of motherfuckers with anything positive in the music, man. And the other ones that do have a positive message, they so underground, they underground. You know the fuck they are.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. All the bullshit is at the forefront. And I'm kind of, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm kind of glad that the attention that they've been asking for, they getting it. This the energy you on, right? That thug shit come with a sentence or in the grave. It don't go with nothing else. Nothing else. It's ridiculous. He got busted not too long ago on a charge with a bunch of meth.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing, Young Thug?
I think us as consumers, we just have to be mindful of the stuff we consuming. They talk about like how you can have an unhealthy mind. In terms of like you can have a unhealthy diet in your mind. I guess I forgot how they articulate. I just seen like a little infographic. Mm-hmm. But just consuming that type of music, and there's a place and time. Obviously, like we talked about, Get Rich or Die Trying was a great album. But I just think for the most part, we have to, if you really want to be in a healthy space, and don't want to be, carrying all this trauma, we got to start listening to more like Cole's and Kendrick's and stuff like that. And not only listening to them like for the entertainment, but really listening to the type of messages that they say in their music. Because, I think you hear it all the time, like it'd be somebody that got cancer or something, and they'd be like, yo, I listen to this song every day and it got me through, you know, it got me through chemotherapy and stuff like that. But you rarely hear that when it's like the guns and drugs and shoot 'em ups. So, yeah, you don't hear that a lot. So
I hate to break it to you, Keith, but only probably about 30% of Americans can think for themselves and also be able to be mindful of what they're taking in. Most people take in anything. Anything. How many times have you seen liberals saying dumb, ridiculous, stupid shit that fits their narrative? How many times have you been seeing conservatives saying dumb, ridiculous, stupid shit that fits their narrative? It's because they can't fucking think for themselves. So when you spoon feed them with ignorance or anything else, they'll just take it. You know how many regular people that I've known that sip lean and act like it's normal? No, you're a drug addict, stupid.
yeah.
You a grown man sipping lean. Are you stupid? And that's also illegal. You don't got a prescription for that. You bragging about something that's illegal. And you really out here drinking cough syrup, mixing it with soda. So not only are you killing yourself, but you mixing it with sugary soda. It's fucking ignorance. It is fucking ignorance. And here's the thing. Andrew Schultz made a great point when he talked about like culture, more or less like hip hop culture, which is basically black culture. The unfortunate thing is when you think about other cultures, whether it's people that are from Germany or Mexico or whatever, these people have a whole history, they could tie their lives to Mexico. They could tie their lives to Germany. They could tie their lives to this. But black Americans in America, we don't have culture. We don't. In America, we don't even have real fucking names. My last name, Keith's last name was our slave masters. If you understand the historical context of what I just said, you know that's a true statement. We don't even have real fucking names. So American culture is very young. And within the American culture, we really only bond through trauma, right? So when you've bonded through trauma, and trauma's also in the music, it could be disguised and normalized as culture when it's not fucking culture. It's dysfunction. And the fact that it's so many people that will just prance around and act like this shit is normal. It's not. It's really not, man. The putting money up to your ear and counting money in public and you walking down the street with a blunt in your mouth, and this is not the shit on weed, but just the normalized fuckery, man. You know, the lyrics in a rap song, like, you know, so and so, I'm gonna beat the charge, my lawyer, I'm gonna beat the charge. Like, bro, just don't do the crime. There was somebody saying that, you know, this is racist, that they're getting Young Thug in on a Rico charge because this is what they do to black people, dog. No, we're not gonna pull that race card today. You niggas made it easy.
Yeah.
You made it so motherfucking easy. You literally implicated yourself through rap lyrics and text messages. It was a text message from Young Thug that said, I can't believe y'all niggas ain't shot or killed that nigga yet. In a text message.
That's crazy.
You gotta be the dumbest nigga ever to do that. You gotta be the dumbest person ever to do that. I hate to say this, I have empathy for people going through real life situations. But I have very little empathy for a person who created the circumstance for themselves to hang themselves. You just gonna learn a lesson, buddy. We all gotta learn lessons when we fuck up in life. I can't say if somebody I know did some really wild shit and I say I pray for you, I'm probably praying for you to not go crazy. I'm not praying for you to beat the case.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping you get busted, but I'm not praying for you to beat a case. You fucked up, buddy.
Gotta sit with that.
Yeah, you gotta live with that. So that's
good old Young Thug, man. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I genuinely don't give a shit how it plays out. Just because I know how many people have been affected by this shit in culture, and I hate to say this, but I'll add a little more to it. Like, you even look back when I was a kid, you know, coming up, it was songs like "Ain't No Fun If the Homie Can't Have None," right? Which and people knew all the words. I know all the words. It ain't no fun if the homie can't. You're basically saying, you and your homie having fun fucking the same girl. Mm-hmm. That's rapey. Mm-hmm. That's weird. That's not okay.
No.
But it's in the music. Mm-hmm. Right? This shit like that, man. And what's crazy too is you start noticing that once artists start taking that dark route, it ends bad. Tupac was with Underground.
Digital Underground?
Digital Underground, mm-hmm. right? And then once he went to Death Row and started throwing up West Side, he got shot up and killed.
Yeah.
So it's like once you take on that negative persona, it comes with what it comes with. Mm-hmm. You can't change the outcome. One of the only ones that's gotten completely out the streets, and he had to do it for a good reason, was Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. But Snoop Dogg caught a motherfucking murder charge at one time.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, this shit is not nothing to play with. Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny too? You ever heard of, I think Nipsey talked about this. Are you familiar with the gang enhancement? Mm-hmm. A gang enhancement is basically when you are affiliated with a street gang, whether it's Blood, Crip, whatever. If you have certain tattoos that kind of incriminate you in a way, because you're basically putting that you're a part of this street gang on your body. Mm-hmm. So let's say that you commit a crime that gets you 4 months, but that gang enhancement gets you automatically 3 years. So now you got 3 years, 3 months. Why would you rap about being a Blood? Why would you rap about being a Crip when your stupid ass is going to go to prison? If the feds are watching you, mm-hmm. and they literally are looking at a case that goes back to 2012, 2013, they're going to pick you up and it's over for you, bro.
This case is so crazy.
Yeah. Man, when what I loved about Nipsey is before he died, he really was updating his message. It wasn't really no gangster shit. It was a lot of uplifting messages in Nipsey's music.
Business, eating good, eating healthy.
Yeah, business.
Dr. Sebi stuff.
Before he passed, he wasn't even smoking weed. Mm-hmm. He said he stopped smoking weed because he wanted to be alert. And he was aware of the perception that people had of him if he smelled like marijuana. Now, what we're not going to do is tear down marijuana on here, because I'm not going to do that. There are a lot of things in life way worse than weed. But when you walk into a room smelling like weed, people don't respect that, especially in a place of business. Mm-hmm. When it's in a place of business where hundreds of millions of dollars are being exchanged, and you are walking in there and you want to be seen as somebody that should be respected, you can't do that. The only way you get away with that is if you Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
But Snoop Dogg has enough social cachet where he's earned that.
Yeah.
But if you're Eddie McGee or Keith trying to prove that you can do X and Y, man, ain't nobody taking your ass serious with that.
Not at all. So, I don't know. That nigga Young Thug he gonna be in prison for a long time.
Yeah. You know what's sad too? I think by the time he gets out of prison, he's gonna strip himself of everything. You know, the best example of this, literally, the best example of this is Shine, the rapper Shine, mm-hmm. that got locked up with the whole shit with P. Diddy where he busted his gun. Mm-hmm. Like, Shine was really a street dude. Mm-hmm. So when the shit popped off, he busted his gun. And if he didn't bust his gun, then we wouldn't be no J-Lo today. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be no Benifer. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. So he did that, and I forgot how many years Shine did. He did over 10 years, I think.
Yeah, he's a completely different person now.
Yeah.
He's into like politics and stuff.
He's into
like
politics, and he's in Belize. Mm-hmm. So you think about it, how much, and he had a full interview talking about, you know, how ignorant he was. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Young Thug is gonna make it there till he is behind walls and he can't get out. Mm-hmm. Sad, man.
It's a sad situation.
It's sad. We got to stop this shit, but I'm not going to keep dragging along. I think Keith's starting to get uninterested. I could look at his body.
Yeah, I'm like, Young Thug is a criminal. He needs to go to prison. So yeah. That's pretty much
Jeffrey! Switching gears. Formula shortage. Recently, there has been a baby formula shortage. And, a lot of people are up in arms. There are a lot of...
Let me rush the restroom.
Go ahead, man. Gonna run out of my life like you always do, Keith. Is that what you're doing? There has been a baby formula shortage, and this is what parents need to know about the formula shortage. Where to look for baby formula, how to keep on hand when you find it, and how to ride out the crisis. Crazy. It's how do you run out of baby formula? Who the fuck is in charge of the formula? Is it Joe Biden? Did Joe Biden forget about the fucking formula? Huh? Did he drink all the formula? Because he's basically a baby now. He's been reduced back to a baby, so he's drinking all the goddamn formula. Goddamn you, Joe Biden. Fuck. All right. A worsening nationwide baby formula shortage is putting parents across the United States on edge as they scramble to find ways to feed their children. More than 40% of formulas are out of stock at stores around the country, a crisis that has been building for months and stems from pandemic supply issues that were exacerbated by the February closure of a major production plant. President Biden announced this week that the federal government is working to manufacturers to increase production of formula and keep families assessing existing stock. But pediatricians are bracing for the possibility that the current shortage doesn't resolve anytime soon. Realistically, I think we're looking at several more months, said Dr. Stephen Abrams, a spokesman for the American Academy of Pediatrics. Even once that factory restarts, I don't think the situation will get better super rapidly because the shortages have been developing for so long. Okay. What should I do if I find my baby's unusual formula anywhere? Okay. Well, here's the deal. I believe there's supply chain issues going on right now, and that's one of the main reasons why people can't get the formula. And there was there was a woman in the store that had took so much formula that she had a bag. You remember that big old sack that Mr. Grinch had when he was stealing gifts on Christmas?
Yeah.
She had a fucking Mr. Grinch bag full of Enfamil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, this is how we can prove humans are selfish.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, when it comes down to between me and when it comes between one person and another person, it's just like a self-preservation at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's my question, and I don't want to go down a wormhole, and I don't want to come off as a person who is an expert on fucking formula. But I will say this. We cannot deny that there is a business aspect to formula in general. There have been multiple lawsuits involving these major companies that release Enfamil and all these things because they don't care about your baby and they don't care about you. Mm-hmm. They found all kinds of non-natural shit in the fucking formula. They found lead in some of them. They found fucking heavy metals. And this is going into babies, by the way.
He's drinking this stuff.
And you're giving babies this slop, and it has cow milk in it. Hold on. Let me look up the... Hold on 1 second. Hold on. NEC formula. Okay, NEC formula. Baby formula lawsuit, class action. Let me go down here. Over $10 billion won by baby formula NEC lawsuit.
10 billion?
10 billion, sir. If your child suffered necrotizing enterocolitis, NEC, resulting in injury or death, contact a lawyer now and find out if you have a case. And basically what it was is the cow's milk, like it was causing, it's been proven that it's not good for babies. Mm-hmm. This extremely premature babies fed human donor milk are less likely to develop dangerous intestinal condition, necrotizing enterocolitis, NEC, than babies fed the standard premature infant formula derived from cow's milk, according to research by investigators at Johns Hopkins Children's Center and elsewhere. Only one of the 29 infants who received human milk developed NEC, and it recovered without surgery, compared to 5 out of 24 babies on formula, 4 whom required surgery. The findings, the researchers said, justify a move toward a human milk-only diet and extremely premature babies, those born weighing less than 1,500 grams or 3.3 pounds. See, man, this is crazy. Moreover, babies who got human milk tolerated feeding better, allowing them to be taken off supplemental IV nutrition much sooner. Here's what we got to ask ourselves. The first formula, from my findings, didn't come around till 1865, and the slaves were freed then also. That's another conversation. And the crazy thing about that is they were basically just having cow's milk before that. So even before that, how were babies surviving without this? Oh, maybe because they didn't need it. Man, I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but babies have been surviving way before the idea of formula. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't born back then, so I can't really say.
I mean, they lived. There's history that people.
No, I'm saying I just don't know what they used. I don't know if they were using cow milk. I don't know if they were just sharing titties in the slave house.
There was some big titties back in the day, man.
What back in 1800s, titties was bigger.
Yeah,
It's a
man.
proven fact.
Definitely.
They used to hang a little lower too.
Yeah.
You ever seen them old like naked slave pictures?
Wow, Keith, you took it there, didn't you?
Titties be hanging, hanging like teenagers.
Damn, Shorty got them Harriet Tubmans, nigga. Oh man, yeah. Sure. Well, I think the thing about it is that there's this fear and this sensationalism that's created by there's no formula. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to disrespect any mothers out there, anybody with kids that are afraid of this, but there was a woman that was talking about like, no, I don't feed my kids that shit. That shit's not natural and it's not for babies. Mm-hmm. And there have been many people that said that once they gave their baby formula, the baby started having reactions and rashes and all kinds of shit.
Yeah. I will say I don't think it's for everybody. I think the majority of babies that drink formula are fine. But it's just like any type of food, right? Like for me, when I go to Taco Bell, I don't have like bad bowel movements. But for you, when you go to Taco Bell, like if it's not cooked at a perfect temperature, you might have a whole experience. Mm-hmm. So
don't speak for me, Keith.
But I will say with the formula, it's almost a necessity because they could make it healthier, and there might be a organic version out there. I'm not sure. I don't have no kids, but it's almost a necessity because I know young babies, like some of my friends' kids and their girlfriends or whatever the case may be, they try to pump as much milk as they can. Like I had a friend, I just seen him on the plane and he had a couple bottles of like breast milk that his wife had pumped and they were out of town and he was just like kind of hoping that it survived and long enough until he got back home. And when a baby is hungry, a baby is hungry. You can't just be like, wait, hour or two, wait till we get home. It's like the baby gonna drink as much as he gonna drink. So.
Yeah. What's crazy though, man, is like when the idea of milk to me is I'll say this because I used to haul milk and I used to haul raw milk, which is basically coming straight from the cow. And there's these huge tanks. They're probably about at least, I don't know, 10,000 gallon tanks, I would say. At least about 10,000 gallon tanks of raw milk. And when I would load them into the back of the tanker, sometimes I had to put a filter back there. And what would happen is once I was done loading the tanker up and I pulled that off and pulled the filter off, it was clogged with hair. It was clogged with dirt. It was clogged with all kinds of pus and shit.
Yeah.
And they basically, we would take it out to the City of Industry off of Highway 605 and they would process it and put it out as milk. The company is Altadena, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that brand before in a grocery store.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm responsible for bringing gallons and gallons of that milk to that place. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't even know if cow's milk should be for human consumption. I just think that we just have a culture of taking other animals and using them for everything. Like, because the way that milk fucks my stomach up and so many other people, it's like, I don't even know if we have the digestive enzymes to break that down. I think as a kid, I used to drink milk and shit all the time. That milk is with every meal. This is what makes me really like be on high alert for this formula shit is how much they shove milk down our fucking throats. Mm-hmm. Protein powders got milk in them. Protein bars got milk in them.
I think it's a cheap way of adding like density to something.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's extreme profit.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
extreme.
like it's there's cows all over the place. They probably and they're milking cows, year round.
Yeah.
And it's probably pretty cheap per gallon. And, they just bust it down to a powder, put it here, put it there, mix it with a couple other things, and then you can sell something for $1.50 or $2 or whatever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I just think it's profit over people because there's been studies showing how milk products can affect a lot of people. Like if they make it more healthy, I've gotten off all protein powders. I only get my protein from Whole Foods because it can make you have breakouts. Even if just in general, like eating a protein powder, I get really bad farts, like really bad farts from protein powder or protein bars, really gassy.
Lactose.
Yeah,
but even with that, it is also about knowing your body.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not lactose intolerant, so I don't have a problem with drinking any milk. It doesn't make me feel any kind of way.
But I wasn't as a kid though. I was drinking milk every fucking day.
That's your body though. I don't know if it's from like it's also a cultural thing. There's a lot of black people that are just lactose.
It's been shown that black people are like when we get older, I guess our stomachs don't have the digestional enzymes to break down dairy.
It's just doodling.
Yeah, you'll be blowing. You will blow a hole through your fucking drawers trying to drink some milk. But I'm trying to figure out who was the first person that said, you know what, I'm gonna suck that cow's titties.
That's wild. That's a wild statement.
The wildest shit I ever seen was this chick, right? She was breastfeeding her kids or whatever, and she had one kid on her left titty. This is no lie. And then I guess she had some puppies and a mother couldn't nurture them. Something had happened. So the dog was sucking on her titties.
That's wild.
And the dog was like really drinking the milk, dog.
That's bestiality, dog. You can't do that.
You can't do that. That dog was tearing that nipple up.
Yeah. That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
Bro, it's a video. It's out there somewhere, man. Somebody had posted it on Facebook back in the day when they allowed weird fuck shit to be on there. And the lady was just like, a baby was there, and then the little puppy was over there, and the puppy was just drinking the milk.
They should, you know what they should do? They should start doing like humans like cows. Like say a girl that, or a woman that doesn't necessarily, I don't know if she just wants to do it. You know, maybe that's her purpose in life. She wants to, or a group of them, right? Like that want to, one, stay pregnant.
The Breastfeeding Association.
Yeah, just have a bunch of big titty women.
BFA.
A bunch of big titty women with like these little suction things on them, and then it's just going through these tubes, and then, you know, they just put them out in the stores. I think that would be crazy.
I'll buy it.
Just to taste it.
Yeah, probably.
I ain't tasted no breast milk since I was like a good 2 years old.
You know what's weird is the motherfucking kids that are like 10 years old drinking breast milk.
Yeah, it do be some old heads.
And they be like sucking straight from the titty. Just like, yo, this is dysfunctional. I'm calling CPS.
Yeah, this is borderline sexual.
Yeah, you got a teenager sucking titties, man. What the fuck is going on there?
Yeah, when you a child, suck on some titties, and then when you get like 17, 18, then you can suck on some titties again.
But some real ones though.
Yeah, exactly. No breast milk coming out of those.
Yeah, man, that's nuts, man. There's some men that drink their wife's breast milk. I heard that there's some dudes that literally their wife they'll pump it out and then dudes will drink it.
I may just stick my finger in it just to see what's going on there.
What's that? How hot it is?
Just to taste it. Like, why is my son or daughter just like
a lot of these girls I wouldn't drink their breast milk. I couldn't do it.
Diets.
They got bad diets. If you eat you eating a steady diet of tacos and hot Cheetos and burgers, I can't drink that breast milk. I get high blood pressure drinking that shit.
Yeah, women definitely have to be mindful of their diet when they breastfeeding.
Yeah,
so that'll mess the baby up.
You can't be drinking Four Locos and breastfeeding.
Yeah, that don't work.
That baby gonna be fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be like, baby sick as a motherfucker.
Drunk, huh?
Baby already in AA and shit. Yo, Four Loko might be the worst drink ever.
Really?
Oh man, I got one time. Me and your brother split one a long time ago because it's when Four Locos first started popping off. Yeah. So we wanted to know what the craze was about. Yeah. And we split a Four Loco. And I don't know why me and Des were just drinking off the same cans. But
y'all split? Y'all didn't even put it in a cupboard?
No, we just drank off it. Yeah. This when you got like really close friends, you just do shit you probably shouldn't be doing.
Scratching your head. Like,
yeah. Like I'm not gonna drink off the same can as Keith. Mm-hmm. But like if I had to, I'd be like, I'd rather drink off Keith's can than somebody else's.
My mouth pretty clean.
Yeah,
I heard a herpes outbreak last week. NFTs.
I've got an NFT that's going to change the fight game. I had herpes flare up last week. Had two breakouts in the same week. Dang.
That's funny. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they used to call that cocaine in a can, especially like when I was 18, 19 years old at the little college parties at BC. That was a regular thing because it was like cheap enough and it was enough drink for you to kind of be like loaded by the end of your drink.
They got these thing called buzz balls too.
The little
the little things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy to me? And there was this guy on TikTok talking about it. He said, as a culture, we've normalized alcoholism, and we literally drink every weekend or whatever, but we don't realize how much damage it's doing to us. And it's like, it is crazy and sometimes irreversible. Mm-hmm. There was a dude that was like 51 years old, and he was begging on TikTok, please, young people, please don't do what I did. Please take care of yourself. Stop drinking alcohol, please. Because his liver is fucked. Mm-hmm. His health is fucked. And he was just like, man, he's like, if I could take it all back, I would, man. And I was an alcoholic and I was drinking all the time. And it got to the point where I got sick and, you know, I had to have all these surgeries and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting that something that's literally killing you, like we are consuming.
We've normalized it.
Yeah.
We make it cool. And it's people that they'll get a bottle of alcohol, be like, woo, like, what are you celebrating? Death?
Yeah. And I get it. And I'm learning to understand it as a person that has never drank alcohol before. I get the kind of allure of it, right? You feel kind of good. You're around your friends and your family. You might be watching sports or something. So I get that. But, you know, just moderation, right?
Yeah.
My diet is not the cleanest, but
yeah,
I don't be eating hot Cheetos every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll fuck yourself up. That was that rapper that almost got real fucked up from eating hot Cheetos, Lil Xan.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Lil Xan had to stop eating hot Cheetos.
He had a straight hot Cheeto diet or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Man.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's very weird, man, to eat that many hot Cheetos. Mm-hmm. I'm not even a fan of hot Cheetos at all.
I think, yeah, I don't know. It's just sometimes you just crave, or at least for me, I'll crave hot Cheetos.
I'm old school, homie. You know what I like better, that's better in my opinion? Hot fries.
Hot fries fire.
Hot fries.
Hot fries
fire.
might be better than hot Cheetos. Just the texture is like, it's more, it ain't as crunchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brand to me that's like the best form of like hot fries, cheese fries. It's called Andy Caps. Bro.
I might have, is it in Dollar Tree?
It might be. It's in a kind of a smaller bag, and it's got they got a hot fries one, and it's got one that's got like cheese, like cheesy jalapeno. Mm-hmm. Oh my God,
fire.
Bro. Fire.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Killing the NFT game.
We got to start doing like a little
NFT got mad bumps on it.
We got to start doing like a little throwback Thursday food type of thing where we just kind of experiencing older snacks and stuff.
Bro, that'll be a 3-hour podcast. Bro, don't even get me started, bro. All the snacks that I ate in high school, god damn.
Well, the first one got to be, though, if we actually do it, the first one got to be those graham crackers.
Graham cracker with the jelly and the motherfucking peanut butter.
If we could find those, bro. I did. I know they have them at Walmart. They not the OG one that came, because the ones at school.
You get them online.
Yeah, I haven't seen them though. But the ones at school came in like the silver and blue wrapper.
Yes.
Yeah, if we could get those.
You get them online, yes. Yeah, you could get
right.
those online. You get those little cinnamon donuts online. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? The little breakfast ones. Mm-hmm. You get the square pizza with the square pepperonis on it online. Yeah. It's just a little pricey. But they got it.
That'd be dope.
What was funny to me though is the pizza that came in that plastic. That shit was always hot as fuck.
And it's like, why are you cooking this with plastic?
Yeah.
Plastic sometimes low-key be crunchy.
Yeah, you be like, shit, I'm gonna eat this too. Fuck it.
Little plastic never hurt nobody.
Yeah, a little bit of plastic ain't hurt nobody. Shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I'm about to get sick anyway. Might as well eat this.
I just think going back to the original conversation, I think overall we just got to be aware of what we putting in our bodies, and especially our kids. So I understand that breastfeeding is not always ideal just because of many circumstances, whether location or, you know, somebody may be traveling a certain place or whatever the case may be. So there is a certain necessity for the infant meal and stuff. But yeah, we just got to be aware, of what we're putting in our body, and sometimes it's all we can afford. It's just like eating top ramen. You know what I mean? Like that's just the best we could do. You got to go to the local liquor store and pick up some Infamil or whatever. But
man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I ate so much ramen as a kid. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck though. If I like, ramen is not nasty, bro. It's good.
I still eat it every now and then.
It's good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's good. It's good, but I don't fuck with it because it's way too salty. Yeah. Way too salty.
Have you ever made a spread? A little jailhouse spread?
Nah, I never did none of that. But
with my I don't know if he had got out of jail or something like that, but my cousin Payne, he the first one I ever seen make a spread.
What'd he do?
It's different for everybody. I think he put like chili beans in there, and then he put like Fritos. So you cook the top ramen, and then you put the beans in there, and then you put the chips in there, and it's a whole experience.
Yeah, it's a whole experience to a quicker grave.
Yeah,
that shit is the amount. People don't realize the amount of salt in that and how much it could shock your body. Mm-hmm. It's really bad, man. Mm-hmm. Now, the way you could reduce the amount of salt in it is just don't pour the whole packet in.
That's facts. It's kind of diluted a little.
Yeah, but you know what else people do too to make them get all the salt is they drink the soup afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's probably the appeal of it, right? Is that the amount of salt in there? As we're kind of like we're probably addicted to salt and sugars, so that's probably why like kids like it so much. And
the sad part about it is poor people really thought they was getting different flavors of meat. Like shrimp flavor ain't no shrimp in it.
Yeah.
Chicken flavor ain't no chicken. Beef ain't no beef. What? Those only 3, right?
Man, they got a bunch of. They got the Oriental flavor. They got like lime and.
They got lime now. They didn't have that when I was a kid.
Hot and spice. It's a bunch of different.
It's a bunch now.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them now.
Damn, they really giving poor people a lot of options.
The OG is just the
3 flavors I mentioned:
chicken and
chicken, beef, and shrimp.
And shrimp, yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, them was the only ones. But I think I seen like I don't like the spicy shit. I can't fuck with that.
The Oriental been around for a minute though.
Oh, that's?
You remember it came in a blue, like the little blue wrapper.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah.
I guess it was it's more of an authentic flavor.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily flavor like the
what
meat.
What was the brand called? Moritan or some shit?
Top Ramen is a brand, and then Maruchan is like the other. I guess that's the rival, the yin and the yang.
Yeah, the B side.
Yeah, the B side.
So it's Top Ramen, Maruchan, and damn, what's the other ones?
I don't know if there's any. They got they definitely got the Master P brand. I've seen that in stores.
What's it called? I forgot.
I don't know. I got the hookup. I got the noodles up.
These to make them say noodles right here.
I got my own noodles. We got to start opening up our own businesses.
We got to open black businesses. I got the new Muyadas and the new noodles in here. Yo, I got love for Master P, man. I really do, but he has some of the ugliest shoes I ever seen in my life.
Muyadas, last time I came here, Charlemagne didn't like my shoes. We got the new Muyadas now.
Let's see. I'm about to look them up right now. What are they called? Wrap noodles, premium ramen noodle soup, Master P. They call it's from Wrap Snacks.
Ah, okay.
Let's see what the reviews are. Let's see review. This was nothing special. Tasted like regular ramen in the cup. No gumbo taste. Bland prime rib. Hot chicken has some spicy flavor, but nothing Louisiana about it. It's noodles, nigga. What you expect?
Yeah, it ain't supposed to really.
The Master P noodles are fantastic. Each of the different flavors are unique. I have brought the case of noodles, so bought. They meant to put bought. The case of noodles so I can enjoy them as usual. Oh, it's all kind of reviews on here. Okay. Get your money, Master P. Icon Snacks. Yeah. Let me see. I think they might be in Walmart. I could be wrong. Yep, right. Wrap Snacks, Icon.
Probably in certain cities. They might have them in like maybe more in the South or something.
Oh, this one of the noodles got little Boosie on it. Louisiana hot. Then the other one got E40 and the other one got Master P.
Lil Boosie flavor might be like homophobia noodles.
Yeah, like Man, get these gay noodles out of here, man. These gay noodles, man. Everybody like Zoom.
No
Zoom.
boy should be wearing a dress.
That's the name of the noodles. Okay, Rap Snacks. Bro, this Master P, bro, he out here getting money, dog.
Yeah, you got to think, man, like it take a while to build a business. And Master P, especially coming from the music industry, he understands what longevity is and stuff like that. So who knows? In like 20 years, Rap Snacks and whatever noodle brand could probably sell to.
Master P got a brand called Ooh Wee Lemonade Blueberry from Rap Snacks. It got a picture of Lil Baby on the front.
He owns the Master P owns Rap Snacks?
I don't know if he does, but it says Rap Snacks Hip Hop Lil Baby Blueberry Lemonade. It's 20 ounces. It's a pack of 24 for $40. Does it $40? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, $49.
You remember the Jones sodas?
Yes, I do. They were very big at one time.
You can like customize a packet.
They have some nasty ones for a minute, like Thanksgiving ones and shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was all kind of fucked up
cranberry
flavors.
or something like that.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying to do it. Your pops used to love them Jones sodas back in the day.
Yeah, we used to get he used to get the RCs, which was probably like 80 something cents, 89 cents.
RC Cola? Oh, them is
and then maybe when he got paid, or when it was a good day, when the money was up, we could go get a Jones soda.
Yeah, because them Jones is a little pricier.
Yeah,
RC soda is probably the cheapest soda in American history.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, them is
got the price right on it.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta do no addition, subtraction. You gotta be dumb as hell if you go up there like, how much is this?
Yeah. My aunt used to drink cases of RC soda. Rest in peace. But
yeah.
My dad told her one day, he was like, "Why are you drinking that shit? That's rock gut soda."
That's hilarious.
Yeah. He said that shit gonna rotten your gut out.
That's comedy. That's a King Cobra sodas.
Oh man, that's King Cobra fucking that's another soda. I'm trying to think, like, you think about old snacks, there's certain drinks that ain't around no more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Slice?
Yeah, I do.
It's not around like that. Sierra Mist ain't around like that no more.
Sierra Mist is around.
Not like that.
You could get it. You can.
Maybe I just don't drink soda. I'm talking over my ass, but sure. I don't see it.
Because this was what we had this conversation before.
Stop arguing with me, Keith.
But the Sierra Mist is, and then the Coca-Cola product. So the Coca-Cola is Sprite, right? And then Sierra Mist is like a Pepsi product. So depending on the store, like if you go to a restaurant, for Taco Bell, for instance, they have Pepsi products. So they always going to have Sierra Mist there. Or if you go to a certain restaurant, you'll be like, "Hey, can I have a Sprite?" And they'll be like, "Oh, we have Sierra Mist. Is that okay?" And then you get Sierra Mist. But obviously, Coca-Cola is a much more popular brand, so they're going to be in more places. But you get some Sierra Mist in certain spots.
Yeah, man. Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of this one.
Yep.
We'd like to genuinely thank everyone from the bottom of our hearts. We've had a major surge in viewership, and we want to thank everybody who just came aboard A Trucker's Mind podcast.
Yeah, we
got 216 other episodes you haven't seen or listened to, and welcome to the club.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube. The numbers is slowly growing over there.
Yes.
But hit that subscribe button and notification bell.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going up over there too.
100%. Yeah, I always forget to mention subscribing because we're so used to doing podcasts without YouTube back in the day. Yeah, make sure you head on over and subscribe. If we've earned your subscription, head on over, hit the notification bell too because we're going to be dropping content. In addition to that, if you feel it's on your heart to donate to the platform, go to PayPal. Oh no, not PayPal. Fucking Cash App. Cash App at ATMPOD. ATMPOD for a friendly donation to the podcast if it is on your heart. And if we have earned your ear, head on down for a donation to the content. Once again, thank you for listening to A Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're out of here.
Peace.